Before I begin the video, I'd like to say thank you to the channel members, No Running in My Lobby, Fluffity Chuff Nuffles, Elias IDK, Annette Fisher, Steve Hughes, and the Yabbick. Become a decent human today. Click the join button, sign up today. That being said, hello everybody. What's up everyone, how you doing? So, I got a lot of requests for this one fairly recently, and you know what? Might as well. I got nothing but time. Let's do it before the channel ends. So, yeah, that being said, let me undo this and that. Put that down there. Exit out of that. So, you probably could have guessed already, but it's going to end up being Count Dankula! So this is Count Dankula, Absolute Mad Lad's Chopper. So someone brought this to my attention not too long ago. So yeah, I kind of look forward to this. Y'all ready? This is some old Count Dankula stuff. So I hope you're ready. Let's get into it.
I'd lie just a little bit.
Oh, whoops. That's not good. Not good at all.
Of a special one, because it's someone I've actually had.
Okay, I haven't used the buds in a while, my bad. Alright, now, retake. Let's do it.
This mad lad is a little bit of a special one, because it's someone I've actually had a great interest in for a number of years. He's quite a divisive character. Some people love him, some people hate him, but you can't deny that he's certainly interesting. Mark Brandon Reed, better known as Chopper. Mark Brandon.
Love Count Dankula's intro. Love it. Even for videos he has like from forever ago, he still has his mates like music on it. Awesome sauce. I love it. Alright, let's keep going.
Brandon Reed was born on the 17th of November 1954. His father was a Korean War veteran and his mother was a devout Seventh-day Adventist. He was placed in a children's home for the first 5 years of his life, and when he was eventually released from care back into his parents' custody, his father would very regularly beat him, usually at the request of his mother. He grew.
So he had a really hard childhood. Yeah, I can easily relate to that. Happens to the best of us. Or something like that.
Of Melbourne, Australia, and he was bullied very badly in school. At the age of 14, he was made a ward of the state, and he was placed in several mental institutions. Due to all the fighting experience that he had gathered while being bullied, Chopper ended up becoming the leader of the Surrey Road Gang and used his fighting experience against the faces of rival gang members. Chopper's criminal career then took another step up as around about this time he started robbing drug dealers that were based in the massage parlours around Prahran. Things only got a little bit more extreme from there because Chopper then actually started full-on kidnapping the drug dealers and torturing them with blow torches and chopping their toes off with bolt cutters so that he could extort as much money out of them as he could. This
Damn, son. Damn. That's tough.
is when Chopper's criminal career really started to take off, and the things that he did were so insane and so frequent that in the year 2000 a movie was actually released about Chopper detailing his life from this point with Eric Bana playing as Chopper. I'm going to use...
Wait, was that what that movie was about? It was about him? I'm going to have to rewatch that movie again. Like, I went on a... You know, after, what was that one movie? Where he, like, takes care of this girl who was, like, genetically engineered to be, like, the perfect spy or something like that. I forget what the name of the movie is. It's like Alice or something, or or something like that. But it's with Eric Bana. And, you know, this young girl is like basically made into a genetic weapon or something like that. Damn, I can't remember. But when I saw that movie, I was like, wait, I've seen him in a few movies. So I had to like basically look up Eric Bana and see all the movies he was in. And I was like, oh, damn. He's like an underrated star in Hollywood in so many different ways. But yeah, I didn't know that Chopper was about this guy.
Use clips from the movie and try my best to follow the timeline of Chopper's life, but there is just a few problems. Movies very often exaggerate and fluff stuff up to make it look much better for the cinema, so events may not be portrayed as accurately as they actually happened. And the other problem is, Chopper also does this himself whenever he's telling stories. He used to always say, never let the truth get in the way of a good yarn. So I'm going to try my best to be as accurate as I can be based on the information that I have. In 1975, Chopper was convicted of 2 counts of armed robbery and he was sent to Pentridge Prison's H Division. While he was in H Division, he formed the Overcoat Gang. He and his fellow gang members would wear overcoats throughout the year because it made it easier for them to conceal weapons that they would use in prison attacks. And a few years later, Chopper was released. In 1978, Chopper's friend, Jimmy Luffman, was standing trial for a very serious offence, and in an attempt to save his friend, Chopper charged into the courtroom with a sawn-off shotgun and pointed it in the judge's face. And
Them some brass pair you carry under there. You know what I'm saying?
and tried to take the judge hostage. Chopper was wrestled to the ground, disarmed and subdued. Chopper was then immediately arrested. Jimmy was found guilty and Chopper, for attempting to kidnap a judge in a courtroom with a sawn-off shotgun, was sentenced to 16.5 years, and so he and Jimmy were sent back to H Division. Chopper and Jimmy joined back up with the Overcoat Gang once they reached H Division, and they decided to start a war with a rival gang called the Painters and Dockers, and in the movie it's portrayed that they don't even know why they're fighting them.
Well, why have we been fighting them for 3 fucking years then?
I don't know.
Well, mate, we should have a reason.
We'll make one up.
It was actually later revealed how the gang
We'll make one up. Oh, damn. You know this dude is like deranged beyond comprehension. But, you know, as far as like just how just completely just loud, like who he is, you gotta think, some people probably found him pretty endearing because he was just, we'll make one up.
how the gang war started. A member of the Painters and Dockers, John Palmer, approached Chopper and accused him of eating all of the extra sausages that were provided for the prison Christmas dinner. Chopper, offended by the accusation, proceeded to beat 7 shades of shit out of John Palmer, and that is what started the gang war, and the war was named the Sausage War. Then one day, Chopper had a little bit...
This does sound like a good yarn. It really does sound like a good yarn. Like, a sausage war. A sausage war. That's hilarious as hell. But, okay, maybe I need to turn my mic down because I can see that it's going nuts. All right. All right, I think I've turned the mic down. I think that worked, even though it's still reading pretty high. It's whatever. But yeah, the sausage wars.
Little bit of a heated back and forth with the leader of the Painters and Dockers, Keithy George.
You're fucking sick, Reed. You're insane.
Beethoven had his critics too, Keith. See if you can name 3 of them. That's right, you can't.
Why don't you do yourself a favour and neck up? You can't, you're a parrot. Fucking
Chopper got a little bit worried about this and he felt that there was going to be retribution from Keithy. So Chopper decided to preemptively strike. So this happened. Keithy died from blood loss and Chopper got away with it because no one snitches in prison. Unfortunately for Chopper, because of this attack and because of many of the other attacks that he'd done, there was now several contracts out on Chopper's life promising a considerable sum of money.
How much?
Apparently that's been passed around and 5 of the dockies have put in $2,000 each to have you knocked.
It's not bad. I should have a go at it myself. Oh, come on. It all sounds a little bit ridiculous, doesn't it? I mean, how are they going to get to do it?
Take your pick, Mark.
Chopper started to get very worried about this because he knew there was a lot.
You know what? This does not, like... I should get hit on it. Who are they going to get to do it? Dude, just, man. This sounds more like something someone conjured up for like a good show than someone's actual life. That's what this sounds like so far. And it's kind of funny.
There was a lot of people in H Division who would try and collect on the contracts. So Chopper decided to come up with a plan to get him and his friends out of H Division. The plan was to kidnap 2 guards at knife point, take their keys, lock them in the scullery. They would then call the prison warden and say that they have 2 guards hostage, and if their demands are not met, they would then use the keys to go around the prison, unlocking all the cells one by one and ice-picking the spines of the other prisoners to turn them all into paraplegics. It's very sound and reasonable, I know. Chopper tried to get his friends Jimmy Luffnan and Ned Bluey Clonan in on the plan. When they refused because the plan sounded batshit insane, Chopper started threatening them to go along with it. So that is when Jimmy and Ned decided to do something drastic.
I saw him in the Danny's.
Yeah.
Oh, he was there with the teaspoon trying to go at it,
It's pretty early in the morning for kung fu, isn't it, Jim? What's the matter with you?
Bluey and Jimmy conspired to kill Chopper and collect on the contracts themselves. Fortunately, Chopper was able to fight back, and apparently Jimmy's love for Chopper as a friend is what made Jimmy hold back from finishing him off. Chopper was stabbed multiple times, which resulted in him losing several feet of intestines, and apparently the very next day Chopper burst open all of his stitches because he was trying to do push-ups. Chopper discovered
I know it's really bad. But it's just funny how he's just like, dude, it gets him and he's like, barely in the morning is it for Kung Fu? It's been so long since I saw the movie. So freaking long since I saw the movie. But just seeing that, I'm just like, he's just like, dude, barely in the morning, isn't it, for Kung Fu? Dude, what's wrong with you? But of course he doesn't feel that he's getting shanked. Of course he doesn't, but like, damn, bub. And then he breaks his stitches because he's trying to do push-ups like right after this happens, like, and he lost some intestines, just bub.
discovered that he was going to be sent back to H Division because the staff deemed that his life was not in danger, because Jimmy and Bluey actually managed to convince the staff and investigators that it was actually Chopper that attacked them, not the other way around, and they managed to convince them of that because Jimmy self-inflicted wounds on himself with the same knife. Chopper knew he was a dead man if he went back to H Division because he had no friends left and everybody wanted to collect on these contracts. So when Chopper got back into H Division, he paid another prisoner to do something to him so that he would have a good enough reason to get transferred out of H Division.
I'm trying to be gentle, mate.
You fucking idiot.
Rip into it. Slash it off. Jesus!
The other one.
He got a prisoner to chop both of his ears off. He got a prisoner to chop both of his fucking ears off. However, it worked because, as a result, Chopper was transferred out of H Division for his own safety.
Forgot that part. I'll have to rewatch this movie. I'll have to watch it. It's been so long since I've seen it. I completely and totally forgot about it. But, yeah, like... he got someone to just chop his ears off. In prison. Could you do that? I know I couldn't. Oh, brother.
Have a look who's fucking leaving, boss.
Get him out!
Chopper was finally released from prison but had trouble trying to readjust to the outside world because between the ages of 20 and 38, Chopper had only been out of prison for 13 months. In 1987, when Chopper was drinking at the infamous Bojangles Club, he was approached by a man called The Greek. However, this man goes by a different name in the movie. The Greek is actually a drug dealer that Chopper once robbed. He walks with a permanent limp because during the robbery, Chopper blasted him point blank in the kneecap with a sawn-off shotgun. The Greek, however, told Chopper that all was forgiven, and it seemed that the Greek wanted to take advantage of Chopper's nationwide notoriety by recruiting him as an enforcer. This relationship, however, quickly turned sour because one night when they were all having a drink in the Greek's house, Chopper immediately got back into his old habits and tried to rob him. The Greek told Chopper that no money was kept on the premises, and so Chopper told the Greek that he had 20 seconds to produce some money for him.
1, 2,
I've got no
3,
cash, mate.
4,
I told you I've
5,
got no cash.
6,
Listen, you come in,
7,
I fucking give you
8,
drinks. What's the matter
9,
with
sit
you?
the fuck down,
Listen,
10,
hey,
11,
hey,
12.
Unfortunately, the Greek was telling the truth, and there was no money on the premises. So it went exactly as you would expect.
Some hospitality,
13,
mate. What are you
14,
doing?
15,
Stop with the
16,
fucking counting. What are you
17,
counting for
18,
now? Take it
19.
easy.
According to people who were present when that happened, apparently Chopper felt really bad about shooting the Greek and so immediately drove him to the hospital himself, but...
Just what? Like, I think of myself as like a simpleton, but this dude is just like, he's chaos incarnate. Probably a lot of people are fans of Chopper just because of like who he is. Like it would not it doesn't surprise me this video has as many views as it does. Does not surprise me.
Chopper denies doing this. Because Chopper is going around basically being Chopper, even more contracts get put out on Chopper's life, and then Chopper hears through the grapevine that one of the people picked to carry out one of the contracts on his life was his old friend Jimmy Luffnan. Chopper then just directly pays Jimmy a visit. Chopper tells Jimmy that he forgives him for stabbing him and it's all water under the bridge. Chopper then immediately sticks a gun in Jimmy's face and just directly asks him if he's the one that's been hired to kill him. Jimmy, in a panic, denies everything. Chopper believes him and then apologises for sticking a gun in his face. Chopper then leaves to go for a drink at the Bojangles Club. But it turns out that Jimmy was the one that had been hired to kill Chopper, and Jimmy now knows that Chopper has just gone to Bojangles. So Jimmy immediately gets on the phone, rounds up all of his friends, they all grab their guns, hop in the car and head to Bojangles. They arrived at the club and were waiting outside in the car, armed to the teeth, and Chopper was inside drinking. So all they had to do was get Chopper to come outside, gun him down, job done. However, they actually had to get Chopper to come outside, so they got an accomplice, Sammy the Turk Ozerkim, to go inside, buy Chopper drinks, butter him up, and then lure him outside. But there was just one problem. The Turk led him out of the wrong door on the other side of the building. So when they got outside...
We said... They said outside. They didn't say where. This sounds sounds like some Looney Tunes type of shit. Like, honestly. This is ridiculous already. This is so extreme. Just, like, this sounds pretty close to, like, an Acme cartoon about, like, some gangsters. That's what it sounds like.
The Turk started looking around for his accomplices and realised that they weren't there. They were on the other side of the building. The Turk starts to get nervous. The Turk starts to panic a little. Chopper notices and directly asks him, "Why did you bring me outside?" And the Turk is so panicked that he can't answer. Chopper put two and two together and realised exactly what was going on. And what happened next was the event that turned Chopper into one of the most infamous names in Australian history.
Sit there, lad. What? What's that mean? You want English? Speak fucking English. It's Australia. Fuck you then. That's English.
Chopper was arrested and charged with murder for killing Sammy the Turk, but Chopper spun a story that the Turk was trying to reach for Chopper's gun to kill him, and so the charge got reduced to manslaughter. And then Chopper entered a plea of self-defence, and the jury believed him. Chopper was found not guilty of killing the Turk. Chopper did, however, do another 2 years in jail for shooting the Greek, and he was released from this sentence in 1991. In 1992, Chopper was in a car with bikie club boss Sidney Collins, and apparently Collins demanded that Chopper give him $8,000 to go towards his wedding. Chopper was pretty pissed off by this, and so shot Sidney in the stomach. Chopper felt bad and dropped Collins off at the hospital on the condition that Collins didn't snitch him out to the police. Unfortunately, Collins did, and Chopper was sent to prison again, and he was released from this sentence in 1998. Then, in the year 2000, the movie bearing his name, Chopper, was released. Since his release in 1998, Chopper mostly behaved himself. He became a best-selling author, he went on tour doing comedy shows, he sold paintings, and he also did TV adverts speaking out against domestic violence and rape.
My name's Mark Brandon Chopper Reed. A lot of people think I'm a tough guy. I'm not a tough guy, but I've broken a lot of men that thought they were tough guys. The lowest thing in jail is a woman basher and a rapist. If you bashed a woman, well, you're a weak, gutless individual. If you come to jail for bashing a woman or raping a woman, you will get dealt with. You will suffer. We will break your neck, you low, gutless, weak mice. Be afraid, because if you come to jail, you're going to have every bloody reason to be afraid.
Now that is how you send an anti-rape message.
Bub, just... You gutless mice. Yep, confirmed. Aussies are crazy.
Jesus Christ. Chopper was even parodied in Ronnie John's half-hour comedy show.
Today, I'm going to show you how to do a job interview so you don't just get the job, you fucking smash its head in. Wish me luck.
Hi, Mr. Reed. Take a seat.
All right. It's going well so far, but they've just offered me a seat, right? But I'm trying to come across as, bloody assertive. And if I sit down, I'm going to seem lazy. Fuck your seat.
So he had a great deal of popularity and he gathered a very large cult following. He has an awful lot of fans. Myself included.
Show your tattoo, Mark. Hoik it up. King Kong, well, why has he got that? Voila. Copycat.
There are two things that you've learned here. One is that I might have a little bit of a bias when I'm talking about Chopper, and two, don't get drunk around your friends when there's a tattoo gun in the room.
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. Oh, man. This is like... Oh, just like... He went from, like... kind of like a funny criminal, kind of funny, but kind of not because he did kill people, to, a cult followed, icon, that people got the same tattoo he got.
You thought the hammer and sickle was bad. Chopper continued touring and starring in TV shows up until 2012 when he was diagnosed with liver cancer. He was actually offered a transplant to save his life, but he refused because he said he would much rather the organ went to save someone else. He died of cancer on the 9th of October 2013, but just a few weeks before his death, he gave one final interview to Australia's 60 Minutes. So picture yourself being Chopper. You're a little bit cheeky, you enjoy the limelight, and you're about to do an interview for a big TV show in Australia. But your doctors told you you've only got a few weeks left to live, so you're not going to have to deal with any of the repercussions of any of the things that you say. What would you do?
Just 16 days before he died, I sat down with Mark Brandon Reid for his last ever interview. It quickly became a confessional in which he admitted in graphic detail to murdering 4 men.
He just started confessing to all of the murders that he got away with. The biggest one was probably when he was discussing the murder of the Turk. Chopper admitted that he lied about the self-defence claims and just admitted that he killed the Turk in cold blood.
When I killed Sammy the Turk, that wasn't a self-defence. That was outright fucking murder. Sorry, it shouldn't be swearing, but that was outright murder.
Chopper also admitted to murdering Sidney Collins, you know, the bikie club boss that Chopper shot in the gut. Apparently years and years later, after Chopper had done his 6 years in prison because Sidney snitched on him, Chopper was doing a live show and Sidney approached him asking for an autograph. Chopper was so pissed off that Sidney had the balls to go up to him and ask for an autograph after Chopper did 6 years because he snitched, that Chopper invited him to an after party, but instead of going to an after party, Chopper murdered him and disposed of the body. So Chopper spent his final interview admitting to all the murders that he got away with, and then a few weeks later he passed away. There is just one tiny problem with Chopper's story. Chopper is a very well-known liar.
I guess the point is, you have said in the past, you put a television camera in the room and you'll lie your head off.
Oh, yeah, of course I will, yeah.
All the time you get people coming forward from the criminal underworld and even the police saying that a lot of the things that Chopper has claimed are complete lies. And even to this day, you're still getting people coming out claiming that a lot of the things that Chopper has said he did are untrue. Even the Greek came forward to say that that infamous night where Chopper counted to 20 and shot him in the stomach never even happened. We do know that Chopper did a lot of crazy and violent things, we do know that, but it seems that he may have embellished or exaggerated a lot of the things he did because, like he says...
Oh, yeah, well look, you know me, never let the truth get in the way of a good yarn.
The reason I feel everybody liked Chopper is he would never go after normal everyday people. He would never go after women, children, or people that weren't in any way connected to the criminal underworld. Chopper is quoted as saying things like, the average man on the street doesn't need to worry about Chopper Reid. And that was true. See, if you weren't in any way connected to the criminal underworld, then Chopper left you alone. Chopper had...
You know what? I didn't think about that. I was just thinking about how, like, you know, he definitely killed people. But they were all criminals. Huh. You know what? Now it makes sense why there's so many people that, you know, that were endeared to him, I guess you could say. Or enamored by him. Because he was like the regular person's criminal. So yeah, you know what? Good on you, Chopper. Good on you.
Chopper had no interest in going after what he's seen as innocent people. Chopper always went after drug dealers. Chopper's been quoted as saying that drug dealers are leeches who feed on people's suffering, which is why Chopper took it upon himself to relieve them of their money. This personal code of conduct that he had, I feel is the reason why so many people liked him. I don't condone any of the things that he did, fuck no, but at least this man had some principles when it came to doing what he did. We still have the issue of how much of what he said is true. There are some things that we know for sure did happen, and there's other things that we question. But with all of the inaccuracies, Has Chopper really earned the title of Mad Lad?
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a slug in this gun. Now, you got to take my word for it, but there's a slug in this gun. Well, I want one shot to my head. One shot to Renee's. Are you ready, Renee?
I don't think I want to play.
Are you ready? You don't want to play. Bad luck.
Yeah. I would say he's earned it.
Ooh. Bub.
Count Dankula on YouTube. Everybody should subscribe.
Okay, so he and Alex go way back then, because this video is pretty old. This video is from like 3 years ago. So yeah, there we go, folks. There we go. Count Dankula, absolute mad lads, Chopper. Bub, I love the Mad Lads series. I love it. I really do. I hope Count Dankula lives a good long time and does a lot more of these. But what did y'all think? Y'all let me know. Alright, y'all know what time it is. This is where I tell you that if you become a channel member, you click the join button behind the subscribe button, or you click the link down below that says join the channel, and become a member of the Decent Humans roster. You're going to keep the channel around much longer, and on top of that, you get to claim the title of Decent Human. What's not to like? And also, you're entering to win a prize that's worth $2 grand. And it's a very useful prize in many different ways. Some people would probably do some Chopper-like stuff to get this prize. So what are you waiting for? Click the join button. And yeah, we'll see around the 30th is when the drawing is going to happen for all the channel members. So, click join. Try your luck. And that being said, be good. Be safe. Make good life for yourselves. BlastCapBadger, out.